In terms of pure rewards, Cosmic Crucible is one of the most important game modes to master in Marvel Strike Force, and you could even make the argument that this is the most important mode to master. And with the upcoming meta character Quicksilver on the horizon, your ability to win in this game mode is getting even more and more significant. So in this video, we're helping you plan out your battles by counting down the best Crucible defense teams by room, and I'm showing you my exact setup as well. So if you're ready to dominate in Crucible, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button, and let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Maniacs? Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking about the best Crucible defense setup to help you master this important game mode. Now, if this is your first time here on the channel, we talk all about Marvel Strike Force, helping your experience in Marvel Strike Force. We got countdown lists like this. We got gameplay videos, news, question and answer videos, and everything to help you along the way and master Marvel Strike Force. But in this video, we're talking specifically about the game mode Cosmic Crucible. Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about the best offensive teams in Cosmic Crucible. So we're not going to talk about some of the teams that I think are a little better on offense, but there is one significant change for that offense video. Gotten more experience with Death Seed, and I think they are better on offense than on defense. We rated them as one of the defense teams, and Infinity Watch as they countered them. Although with more and more experience, I think that Infinity Watch is a better team for defense, and Death Seed is a better team for offense. So with that caveat said, there's a few teams that I think are better on offense that we're not going to put on this list because I think you're better saving them for offense. The first is the Masters of Evil, the best Cosmic Crucible team out there. They can counter pretty much everything in the meta right now. Death Seed, like we talked about, I think that's better for offense than defense. Death Seed is a great counter to another Death Seed on D, and they're also great for a lot of other non-meta teams that we're talking about in this video. So Death Seed can handle a lot of teams out there. The Dormammu team with Gamma, I think that is better on offense as well. Gamma has a role in countering some of the top top defenses right now, so I think they're better on defense better on offense this season, along with Dormammu. Darkhold, I think, is also counterable. You can place them on defense, but I think you're going to get more value from them on offense as well. Same thing with a Tangled, great defensive team, but I like them on offense. They solve a few problems, and Eternals as well. Gamma is great on defense, so is Death Seed, so is Darkhold, so is Tangled. But let's go talk about these defense and the rooms. First room I want to talk about is probably the toughest room, room 6. On defense, Wakandan characters gain 60% max health, focus, resistance, and damage. And on defense, on turn, Wakandan characters clear negative effects from self, speed, gain speed up. On defense, Wakandan characters clear revive once on each successful attack, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to go through all this, but this is pretty much the Wakandan room. So obviously the Wakandans are going to be the best team here, but what version of the Wakandans? The War Dogs, the OG Wakandans, or some hybrid? Well, normal Wakandans or the War Dogs, they are beaten by the Darkhold pretty easily by the Darkhold. I guess not super easily. You need to have the right turn order, you need to slow play it a little, but the Darkhold can beat the Wakandans. I ran into a problem with M'Baku this morning. They were not able to beat the Wakandans. The M'Baku Tanda is so strong, and it was a very weak M'Baku compared to the rest of the team. The rest of the team were over 200, close to 200. M'Baku was only like 120, and that taunt was so difficult that the Darkhold was not able to get through it. Now, we went in with Masters of Evil, and they were able to beat this Wakandan team with M'Baku. But yes, Darkhold, not a great counter if they have M'Baku. Even a small M'Baku can throw you off, because if you're not able to kill that OG Black Panther early on, then getting stuck behind a taunt is very, very bad. Now, I think that this is one of the best versions of this team. Obviously, you want Shuri, OG Black Panther, and Okoye on this team. And M'Baku makes the kill order a lot more tough to get, and to get the characters you want. So I think M'Baku is the best version of this team. The fifth character, though, I'm not sure what is the best version. Killmonger, I know, is very tough on defense, and if you haven't built up a big amount, I think that's a great character. 1mm Black Panther, I think, is a little better than Nakia, and I think Nakia in this fifth spot is the worst character, but still a very tough team because of the bonuses that they have. So this is a great team for room 6. This is probably the best team on defense right now, the Wakandans in room 6. Let's go back and take a look at room 5. Now, you got a lot of options for room 5. And if you look at this room, when any Spider-Verse characters gain stealth, that character gains 20% damage, reducing resistance by 20% for any character with bleed. This room may be updated in the future. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the final room for Spider-Verse, but I think the top team here as far as defense is some version of the Tangled. Now we have the version of the Tangled with all 3 Tangled. We have Red Guardian here to protect Dr. Doom, and we have Dr. Doom here to just do his big boom. Now there's a lot of other versions. Most of these versions will have Spider-Weaver and 2099, and then some other combination of the two. I've seen hybrids with Tangled and Young Avengers that are very effective, versions with Tangled and Rebirth that are very effective, but this is a strong team. Now, even though this is a strong team and one of the tougher teams to beat, this team is not easily beaten, except if you have your right counters. And one of the best counters for this Tangle team is a Tangle team of your own. Some way to get in front of this Weaver and ability blocker or stunner. Stunner with your Weaver or ability blocker with another character. Like Titania, because the Masters of Evil is a fast team and they can get that very early ability block on Weaver. So countered by a few different teams, but for me personally, I'd rather save the Tangled for offense, and I'm leaning not so much into this Spider-Verse, but I'm leaning into this Bleeds. Obviously, if you want the best version of defense, you're going to play some kind of Tangled, but if you want to balance some offense and some tough defense, this is what I put. I put the Weapon X in this room 5. They're not great. They're not going to get a lot of sneaky wins, but they are going to lean into the second part of this room bonus, and that is with these Bleeds, reducing resistance by 20%. So not a tough team, but this will soak up some of your opponent's offenses. Let's move on to room number 4, and this is a room for the Hero Mutants. And while they were some of the toughest offense teams in Cosmic Crucible last season, the Uncanny X-Men, or the Unlimited X-Men, excuse me, with Rogue, Gambit, Sunfire, Phantom X, and Dazzler is one of the toughest teams in this room. Now, this is not as tough as they were during season 1, during the Age of X. They're not as good in this season, during this Spider-Verse season, but they are still a tough team, and I think they're still the best option for room 4. Now, they do have some counters. They can be countered by that Gamma Dormammu team, taking out normal OG Hulk, putting in Dormammu, and yeah, that can be countered by this team. Red Hulk is so valuable. The other team that they can be countered by is the Masters of Evil, obviously, because the Masters of Evil beat everything. Also, Tangled Web, Eternals, Dormammu can beat this team, so there's a lot of options if you run into this room, but for me, I think the best option is going to be that Gamma Dormant, saving Masters of Evil for that Wakandan team, in case you get an M'Baku that your Darkhold can't get around. Let's move on. We're going on to the last room with the additional bonuses, and that is room number 3. This is based around ISO 8 classes. So the Fortifier class, any Fortifier to use the ultimate to spreads positive effect to adjacent targets. On defense, Strikers are gonna get more barriers. And I think one of the best teams for room 3 is this team out here, some version of this Underworld team. Zemo is great because he has an ultimate ability and spreads a lot of positive effects to adjacent targets. So where you place these opening targets are very important. Kingpin has a very early ultimate ability, gets a lot of bonuses. So having a Fortifier class on him and on Zemo will help you a lot. You got a lot of damage from Taskmaster, a lot of damage from Mr. Negative. Now you can counter these characters. They're countered pretty easily by the Eternals. Obviously Masters of Evil could counter them. Darkhold, if you're saving them for offense, can counter this team, but they can pose some tricks to your opponents, and you can get some sneaky wins. I know I've gotten some sneaky wins even with a low-powered Underworld team. All right, and rooms 1 and 2 stays no additional rules aside from the global rules, and you could use either team in room 1 or 2. So let's go over to 2 teams that I like for these rooms with no additional bonus. And the first one is a team that we talked about earlier, and previously I thought this was a great offense team counter to the Death Seed. Death Seed was newer at the time, but Death Seed counters Death Seed very well. And as far as efficiency, it's a very inefficient battle facing the Infinity Watch. So I think these guys are better on defense. It's going to take a lot of turns to kill them, and that could screw up the efficiency of your opponent. So Infinity Watch, still a very strong team in the meta in War and in Crucible And this is a team that I think you could still invest some resources in. Now, the way I invest resources, Arena, then Raids, then Crucible. So if you're into building your Crucible defense, investing into the Infinity Watch will be a good thing, but they're very, very strong on defense. Obviously, their traditional counters will work, like an Infinity Watch mirror match. There's other teams that will beat them, but yeah, it's going to be an inefficient battle when facing this Infinity Watch. And last but not least, coming in at the number 6 spot, still a tough team to beat, and even this morning, they still got me a win as these Young Avengers. I think it's very easy to underestimate them. Now, as far as counters to the Young Avengers, they do have a bunch, but if you've already used one of these counters on another team and you're trying to piece together a team, this could pose some problems to you. So Dead Seed, Dark Hole both work. The Secret Avengers with Shang-Chi work. The Undying team with Cloak and Dagger, Silver Surfer, Omega Red is great. Teams with the early ability block to block that Squirrel Girl can counter this team. But like I said, if you can't get that, or if Kate Bishop disrupts you so much, you may not be able to get all that stuff on. And this team could get you some sneaky efficiency points and even get you a defensive win. So this is what I have on defense in Cosmic Crucible right now. Infinity Watch is in room 1. We have the Young Avengers in room 2. We have this Underworld team in room 3 with a Fortifier on Zemo and Kingpin. We have the Unlimited X-Men in room 4. We have Weapon X, like we talked about, in room 5. And this version of the Wakandans in room 6, mainly because I don't have my M'Baku built up. But after that battle this morning, M'Baku is getting built up. But there's a few other teams that you could slot in if you want to use one of these teams for offense. Bionic Avengers is a common defense team. It's not a tough team. As long as you beat Viv Vision and get her down and not be able to do her ultimate ability on turn 1, you should smash that team. Same with Hero Asgardians. They're not a great team, but it's a very common team that I see a lot on War defense or Crucible defense. So if you're using some of these other teams and you want to save some of your teams, you can use Hero Asgardians as Bionic Avengers. Just know they're going to get beaten very, very easily by your opponents. And that is it, guys. Let me know what you think of this list. Are there some other defense teams that are getting you some significant wins or significant efficiency bonuses that are doing very well for you? Let me know in the comments, guys. Or are you using one of these teams on offense with a lot more success? Let me know as well. I will be back tomorrow. We got the news video. Dorky Dad is going to be on, so it should be a good one. And I'll see you guys then. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of your Crucible matchups, and get ready for Quicksilver. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.